Welcome to the weekly roundup on SA Footballer TV. Darcy, great to have you back.
TJ, welcome. How are you?
Better you're now here because Knowlesy, you were a disgrace last week. Giving him a week off. 3 hours to record 8 10-minute shows.
15 bloopers. Love to see them.
But we move on, I digress. Div 7, mate, and we're going to start with Knowlesy's team, Mitchell Park, who took out Century United, as you'd expect when a team that's 8 and 3 plays a team that's 3 and 8. What happened, Darcy?
Yeah, they won by a fairly good margin. It was 30 points at the end, so it was Mitchell Park 13-11-89, Century United 8-11-59. So both teams probably a bit of awkward kicking there, but 11 points each, but good win there by Knowlesy. So well done, back on the winners list, which is good.
Still in 4th spot. Nate McDonald in his 300th game. Congratulations to Nate.
Nice
I stood Nate in 2001, so he's been around forever. It's 16 years ago, so he was only a young fella then. Well done, mate, in the 300th game. Yeah, I was considerably older than him then too. He kicked 4. Walzak was their best with Leadham for Century United, Darcy.
Yeah, we're working with 3 with the individual to 6 other players there, with May and Frith in much the best players.
An honourable fighting effort from Century United in 9th place, taking on Mitchell Park, but pretty much as expected there, Darcy.
Exactly, it was.
St Paul's beat North Pines 60-0. That's another forfeit. Not going to kick a dog when they're down, so we'll just move on from that one. If they forfeit again, they're Gornsky for the year.
That's it. So it'll be 2 teams out, PAC and North Pines.
Last week, the closest game in this division was 60 points. At least they were slightly closer this week. Teacher Gully 13-14-92 beat Adelaide Uni at University Oval 8-7-55. So a 37-point margin there. Anything stand out for you, Darcy?
No, just well, good. Forsman with 5 goals for Teacher Gully. Well done to him. So
for Musa.
For Musa.
For Musa. Yeah, he's been playing well this year.
Hey, he didn't get the best players either. That's okay. 5 goals. You know, probably fed very well down the centre. So well done to him. But no, there wasn't any probably surprises there. Teacher Gully in 3rd. Adelaide University are probably struggling just a little bit, just out of the 5, 1 game out of the 5, so no surprises there.
No. For Huni, it was hardest with 3, and Atkins was judged their best player. Let's move on to game of the round. A huge crowd gathered at Lutheran Oval. Do you know why?
Because you were there?
I was there.
You played the game beforehand?
Yes, played Adelaide Lutheran C.
How did you kick?
Oh, look, mate, whether I swung a game or won it off my own boot isn't that important, but I certainly kicked a few, or we wouldn't be bringing it up.
Nice.
Did my first ever successful big don't argue. That was a lot of fun. I don't think I'll ever try it again. And can't lift my arm above my head now. So, but we knocked off their C grade, but their B grade, who were undefeated, took on the Para Hills B grade. So it was a battle of 1 versus 2 in the B grade and 1v2 in the A grade. It was past Players Day. It was actually a really big crowd. It was a great day. And Adelaide Lutheran Juniors, they've just started Juniors this year, which is a huge, it's going to be great for their club moving forward. They played in the morning before our game, so quadruple header if you like. And in the end,
great idea, that is.
It was Lutheran who it was a big game, they were up for it, and they put Para Hills to the sword. The final score was 17-13-115 to Para Hills 9-11-65. But a real story is in the quarter and half-time scores. They are 6-1 and 10-1 at half-time.
Yeah, exactly.
They were up for it and they smashed them. So some of the big names for Para Hills not really performing either on what was a big stage. So it was Lutheran by 50 points. Tell us about your standouts for Lutheran, Darcy.
We got Schofield with 5 goals, and obviously he was their best player as well, so he was a good target there down at full forward. Colwood also coming in with 4 goals. Didn't get the best players, but then there was individual goal scorers to 4 or 5 other players. And for Para Hills at Cree with 3, and then Minshaw with 2, then individuals to a few other players there, and Bailey and Minshaw with his couple of goals there getting the best players. Yeah,
Jai Bailey. He's played every game this year, consistent performer, and named best for Para Hills on the weekend.
A bit of a shock to the size of the score there, the winning 1st and 2nd. I think that was a big margin there.
More the half-time score. Para Hills were asleep. It's funny because Para Hills were there pretty early. They looked pretty switched on. I only saw half the B grade game, but the A grade seemed to be there, and actually really surprised at the discipline of these 2 clubs. I spoke to both coaches. I ran into 2 of our cohorts, Mickey Emmett and of course super coach Kim Hiller from Adelaide. I had a good chat with them about the clubs and how things are travelling. Actually saw Kim get into one of his A graders for being a bit late. I thought that's fantastic, making them accountable.
Standards,
yeah, exactly right, setting the standards and maintaining them. So well done, and wish them all the best for the rest of the year. Look, we probably don't need to go over the ladder. Everyone knows these teams were 1 and 2, and it's a battle of 6, really, isn't it? And,
yeah, exactly.
Yep. For the leading goal kickers, that is quite interesting to look at, because you've got Hanson from Para Hills on 33, Cowold from Uni from Lutheran, pardon me, also on 33, and Cree from Para Hills on 32. Formosa, your mate from Tea Tree Gully on 28, and McDonald on 28 from Mitchell Park. Now, if one of these guys can do some damages against one of the lower ranked teams when they play them, they could pinch this. So anyone of 5 there, I think, could win that medal. Let's get on to this week's games, mate.
Yeah, so we head out to Andrew Smith Reserve. So it's a North Pines take on a Central United, so a bit of a derby out that way. So
we assume there'll be a game. Of course, we're recording on a Monday night, 8th versus 9th. Well, North Pines haven't had a team in 2 weeks, and with all their clearances, if they do get a team, I'd suggest Central United would be too good.
That'll be it. So there'll be only 2 teams out from Div 7, which doesn't make it a very strong competition at the moment. But look, if they do, I'll probably pick Central United because North Pines are struggling at the moment getting players.
Yes. Next one's a crucial game. It's the Crabs and St Paul's. St Paul's win this. I reckon they lock away a spot in the top 5.
Yeah,
they should. And you would think that they would beat the Crabs, who sit 7th, but 5 games behind them. It's a big margin. 5 and 7th, not normally 5 games difference. St Paul's too consistent, even though it is at Flinders Uni for mine.
Then we had at Mitchell Park, so Knowles' mob. We've got they're taking on Adelaide University. You would think that they Mitchell Park should do them pretty comfortably, I would think.
Yeah, Mitchell Park 9 and 3, Adelaide Uni 6 and 6. Mitchell Park 9 and 3 sitting in 4th, with Tea Tree Gully 9 and 3 sitting in 3rd. So Mitchell Park need to win some games, win them well, and they're 1.5 percentage points behind Tea Tree Gully, so they need to make that up. So I think they'll make it up and have a good win over the Uni this week.
Absolutely.
Last one, game of the round.
No? Only 3, maybe 4.
No, Tea Tree Gully and Adelaide Lutheran, game of the round.
Oh yeah.
1v3.
Yeah, 1v3.
Might want to talk it up a bit, Darcy.
Tea Tree Gully at Tea Tree Gully, so up there at Pertering Oval, taking on Adelaide Lutheran. I'll probably head to Adelaide Lutheran. I think they hit the straps now after that big win against top spot last week, so Para Hills.
Yeah, Tea Tree Gully, not an easy place to play. It's a much bigger ground than what Luthies play on, so maybe they might be able to get them on a spread and on the outside, but I don't like to be against top teams because they're top for a reason, Darcy.
Exactly, they are.
So I'll take the Lutheran, and it was great to check out their club rooms and be at Adelaide Lutheran on the weekend. I had spent a lot of time, played there probably 3 times in my career, but with people like Mick and Kim in charge, they're doing good things and they will take steps forward. So good luck for the rest of the year, Lutheran, and I think they'll have a win on the weekend.
Absolutely.
Darcy, that's Div 7 done in 7 minutes. Take that, Wayne Knowles.
See you later.